Let's go live now to New South Wales Parliament. The Premier, Gladys Berejiklian, is appearing before a budget estimates hearing. At the moment, she's being questioned about funding for ICAC.
But you've just suggested. I ask you to be factual and truthful in your questioning. You've just made it. We're barely 2 minutes into this inquiry, and you've already made a major blunder in your facts. The government asked the Auditor-General to look at these matters back in November 2019, given there was ongoing public debate for a long time in relation to supplementary funding, and the funding arrangements until this point in time have not been different, vastly different to what your government did. In fact, we've enhanced the funding significantly in the last couple of budgets in relation to recurrent funding, and we took the matter so seriously because the same request was made of us of the Electoral Commission and other integrity agencies, and the government thought it best to ask the Auditor-General to do the important work. We referred that back in November 2019. The Auditor-General has since released her report. We're intending to respond to that report early this year, but given the Public Accountability Committee has also conducted a second inquiry, well, I learned a second inquiry or an inquiry. We are due to respond to that inquiry by August the 5th, and given there are two responses afoot, the government, which makes sense, will be responding to both those things simultaneously. For you to try and make up some notion that our inquiry or our recommendation to the Auditor-General to conduct this inquiry didn't predate what you're telling me is just factually incorrect. And I just asked for the duration of this inquiry or the estimates hearing that you just get your facts right.
Well, Premier, the Public Accountability Committee inquiry actually commenced on the 14th of October 2019.
And it first reported in March 2020, months before you referred the matter to the Auditor-General.
No, we referred the matter in November 2019.
After the Public Accountability Committee had started.
No.
After we commenced.
Sorry, I'll just hear the point of order.
You're actually getting your facts wrong. We referred it in November.
After we commenced the inquiry.
I'll take a point of order.
As a defensive.
But you hadn't finished the inquiry.
Sorry, Premier.
That was your plan.
Mr. Khan.
Oh, my goodness. You get the facts wrong and then make up a story.
Hear the point of order.
That's
Sorry,
fine.
excuse me, everybody.
Yep.
Mr. Khan.
I don't wish to take points of order all the time here, but
That's fair.
The issue is interjections.
I'll just keep it just
it's the Honourable Adam Searle's time. I concede absolutely that point, but it's not a pile-on exercise involving Mr. David Shoebridge as well.
I don't mind. I'm used to it.
If we start correctly,
I don't mind. I'm used to it.
Understood. I'll remind everybody a question at a time, an answer at a time, and then we'll be able to get through today nice and smoothly.
let's do a pile-on.
Well, Premier, the Public Accountability Committee inquiry started 14 October, a month before you referred.
Well, there you go. Budget estimates, not boring today. Usually they're a bland affair, but Gladys Berejiklian was not having any of the questions put to her as she saw misrepresenting and getting the facts wrong. So I'll keep an eye on that. This is about ICAC funding and what the government has done with that funding.